It's Week 9 of the National Football League. Up next, we'll see Joe Mixon. He had a nice effort a week ago with a pair of touchdowns. It's the Bengals and the Bills on Sunday Night Primetime.
It's a brisk night in the Midwest, but we've got football at Paycor Stadium in the Queen City of Cincinnati, Ohio. Coming up, it's a rematch of last year's hard-fought AFC Divisional Round matchup, as it'll be the Buffalo Bills taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. Well, here come the Bills for their first possession, led out by their 27-year-old quarterback in year 6. It's Josh Allen.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of a season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. This defense for the Bengals, they were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
Yeah, we're definitely in top form and pitched a shutout, as a matter of fact. That's the cherry on top of a great week of preparation. And you know what? These guys are eager to keep it going. So motivation this week, not an issue.
And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. 16 yards there, and the Bills have a first down.
And that's how you get started and open up a game. Really well-blocked play. Picked up a nice chunk of yardage. If you're the offensive line, that's exactly what you've talked about all week long in your meetings. Establish the line of scrimmage and take control. And they gave their running back plenty of room to run with.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. KJ Hamler, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. You talk about this Bengals defense. They were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
Yeah, they pitched a shutout in that game, didn't they? And those don't come around all that often in the NFL. The ability to keep someone out of the end zone and also from kicking one through the post. Well done.
Allen going to try and throw on third down. He had a man open, but missed him, and it's incomplete.
Whether that's a little grabbing, a little hand fighting, by any means necessary on third down, he was able to get the job done in the secondary and swat that one away.
On fourth down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Charlie Jones deep for Cincinnati. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Here are the Bengals on offense, and here is Joe Burrow ready to lead them at quarterback.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
They will throw on first down with Burrow. Oh, the first play of the game going to be intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
So here come the Bills out for their second drive. They'll have very good starting field position here after the turnover as they search for the first points of the ball game. So after the INT, it's Allen. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. And the Bengals are going to get the football back at their own 17. That's now a second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands.
Gun. Shot.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. The numbers for Mixon last week, north of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
Back to Mixon on second down. There he goes, left side. And he'll have it past midfield, almost to the 40 before being taken down. 41 yards rushing for him now, his first 2 carries of the ballgame.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts, because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
Now Burrow on first down. He will find his man Chase complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Jamar Chase, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Evan McPherson now for the PAT. He hasn't missed an extra point all season, and he won't miss this one either, and it's 7-0. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here, as they've got it as we resume action. Here's McPherson now to send it away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Back now on offense, the Buffalo Bills. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Logan Wilson, the one who got in there and dropped him to the ground.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Cook up the gut. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. We got a pause following the play because it appears a member of the Bengals in some discomfort. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. On 3rd and long, it's Allen. And that will be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
Here's Jones. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes, steady goes the offense. But you know what else is happening, too, because they are a team now recognized with the ability to run the football.
Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon with his 14th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Bengals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good, and it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Buffalo offense back out ready to go. And there, of course, was a lot of talk about this ball game coming into play. 2 division leaders in the AFC. Could this be a potential playoff preview down the line?
Yeah, and I think when you're talking about the talk about this game coming into play, you're talking about me because I blew up your phone all week prior to this one. I was so excited about this game because, to me, it's not out of the realm of possibility that these two teams see each other again down the road. I like this matchup. They match up very well against each other.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing now is Allen. That's complete to Davis. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. Here's Allen to throw it. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Now the Bills will hustle to the line. From midfield, here's Allen. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. Allen trying to hurry everybody up to the line of scrimmage. To throw on 3rd down. Allen. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. It'll be a sack and a loss of 3, but more importantly, it brings up 4th down. That's 3 sacks now. That's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Here's the punter, Martin, out to kick it away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And with a 14-0 lead, they may just try to get this to the locker room. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. So we've reached halftime here in the Queen City, and it's the Bengals leading this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA.
Halftime over, no problem with us. We skip right to the 3rd quarter and continue this midseason contest. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. So here are the Bengals set to take over. They've got the lead right now, and remember, they are riding that very impressive 7-game winning streak, trying to push it to 8. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line. Not the way you envision things to start out the third quarter. One play and already a turnover.
It's interesting. You and I were talking with the coach, and he talked about how at halftime, as a play caller, he wanted to make sure he got a new script going for the second half, not just the one that he operated off of to start the game. Nowhere on that script did it have that result.
So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And they'll start with great field position, trying to get back into this one. It's 1st and 10 here. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Allen. Keeps himself upright. But now he's swallowed up and taken down. Trey Hendrickson has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
You can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now. And if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opponent.
Allen hit. He lost the football. Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
The good news, they kept the ball. Bad news, it's 3rd and long. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ballgame. But collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering, because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
Here again comes Joe Burrow and the offense for the Bengals. The lead is theirs here in the third quarter, but it's really been the ground game that's been the recipe for success.
You mean the spotlight isn't shining as brightly on the guy throwing it?
No, it's the man behind him that's had a heck of a game.
And that's really okay. That's actually what you're looking for. I mean, your pride tells you, hey, I want to be responsible.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Down to the 10. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Jamar Chase. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Bengals take a 3-touchdown lead. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
And McPherson on for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Buffalo set to get the football back here. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second.
Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another.
Under pressure, they got him again. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Here's Sam Martin now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Here's Jones on the return. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. 110 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
So, Charles, offensively, this group really playing at a high level, 7-0. And we're still a long ways from discussing a potential unbeaten season, I think. But to use a golf expression, no blemishes on the card, at least to this point.
Yeah, unlike my teenage years where there were blemishes everywhere and the dermatologist was on speed dial. But I do think that they're going to have to start answering questions about this start if they keep winning games. You and I both know, we in the media will start to obsess about it and wonder, can they take it all the way to an undefeated season?
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon, his 2nd touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Bengals add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
So the rushing touchdowns continue to stack up, CD. That now 15 for him on the year.
And give him a ton of credit for staying healthy, being a smart runner, and it's showing just how important he's been to his team. He's got to be their MVP at this point in the season, and those votes may even turn into league MVP votes when it's all said and done.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here.
At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like 1 possession left and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And the Bengals are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. How about one last great play defensively, and that should, for all intents and purposes, finish off this shutout.
That's as good a defensive performance as we've seen in a long, long time. And I know as a team they will celebrate, but I will guarantee you the defensive guys, they'll get together somewhere and have their own private celebration. A shutout, that's something to be cherished.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And it's all but certain that this win streak is going to extend another week. Just another tremendous performance in this one. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 49. They'll try to eat some clock with Mixon. And he works free. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Another touchdown here in the fourth quarter. And, Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
Hey, partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball and sometimes even your special teams. And that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
McPherson now for the extra point.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Well, I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Back to the air on second down. It's Allen.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Here's Sam Martin now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. And he'll take it just outside the 40. 44-yard punt, return of 9. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the gun, a give to Mixon. Room here to run. Taking it right down Broadway. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill. But remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and tells everyone, we're going to give you a full 60 minutes. And that's exactly how they're playing this one out.
McPherson on for the point after.
Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field.
Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mention in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while. But everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
Allen will try again on second down. And this one is incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Allen. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And the Bengals are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Oh, my goodness, CD. I mean, this defense just continuing to dominate. They're really dominating on both sides of the ball. But for the defense, that's now 3 interceptions for them here in this ball game.
And what a great teaching tape for this defensive coordinator, right? When they go back and review this game, what does he always tell us that he preaches to his team? We're going to lead the league in effort. Well, they're doing that in this game as well as making big plays.
Inside handoff to Mixon. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Charles, when you look at the stat sheet, you realize that both sides of the ball were so dominant in this game. And on offense, not only did they score it, but they did it through the air as well as on the ground. Everything was working.
And you know that the guys who scored the touchdowns, who contributed that way, to threw them or ran them, they're going to find our cameras and have a big grin for them. But I hope our cameras find that offensive line. How versatile were they? Move the ball on the ground, move people so they could run it, and then protect